record and obviously welcome and introduce this lesson, which we're going to hopefully really enjoy. I'm so happy that you've come in today with us. And thank you for reminding us because there's a time we did a session and we said we're going to bring you back on this platform to do that presentation about side hustles. And you were kind enough to remind us. So really, thank you so much. So this is Women's Corner. It's a recurring fortnightly meeting where we can talk about anything, discuss anything, share ideas with ladies. So this is a comfortable place for us which we can talk, and this is a comfortable place which we can share some ideas. So tonight we're going to be talking about some ways which we can have side hustles. And I think that's very interesting. Now, you may already know that we are already doing a side hustle here and there. You're already in a side hustle. Sister Lauren, Sister Roslyn is also keen to hear about the side hustle, and many others who probably going to listen to this recording. So this is the time we're going to ask Sister Joyce. It's your time.
Okay, hello once again. It's my pleasure to be here, especially when it's about empowering other women. I try my best from the feedback that I get, especially on this topic, because I know how it's helped me immensely. So I would try to touch especially on the important thing. There's so much to talk about, but I just want us to leave with something tangible, maybe some challenges as well, and something we can go and work on, especially, and, put some, make some substance out of it. So anyway, I know the topic is saying side hustles. I'm just trying to be, I can't say I'll be cheeky on that one. But what I'll say was, when I was preparing this and I was just thinking, how many people started with side hustles only for it to be the main thing that sustains them? So I will ask if I can just kick off the side and leave the hustle. Yeah. The other thing that I just want us to ask ourselves is, what is your life purpose? What is your life purpose? Do you actually know what your life purpose is? Because everything that you're going to do in life is going to be meaningless if you do not know what your life purpose is. Because we are centered on, this is something that centers us and gives us substance and meaning to all the things that we do, be it your career, how you parent, relationships, and everything else. So there's nothing we can talk about without putting the foundation in place first. So as the subject goes, we're here to share with each other on finding the perfect hustle. So like I said, I've kicked up the side, depending with how you want to see it. So you can just replace it and put whatever words that you see fit on there. But to get there, we have to understand, like I said, our present position and understand who we are. Who are you? So I'd ask, who am I? If I'm talking to myself, what am I trying to achieve in life? Where am I going? And how will I get there? So we need the mode of transport. We need the map. And we need me. It's like getting in a taxi. If you want to get to a destination, you need to know where you're starting from. You need to know that you have the correct fare. And you need to know, just in case the driver's taking you the wrong way, to tell him, hey, stop. This is not where I'm going. So this is why I ask, do you know what your life purpose is? Because some of these things, when we just embark on them and peak on them, they might be totally different to our life goals, our life calling, our life purpose. Are we going to keep on it? Is it going to be beneficial to us? Because there's no point in putting effort and energy in something that is not going to sustain you in the long term. It might be a side hustle. Maybe you already have something going on. But everything that we need to do in life should have purpose to it. That's what, for lack of another word, I was going to say normal people, but it doesn't sound right. But yeah, a person that is goal oriented, that is, steadfast, and they know the direction. So maybe we already have something going on already, but for some reason maybe it's not doing it. We might have that career that we have, but it's not working. I know for sure for myself, in this country and my situation and my circumstances, I had goals and vision of what I wanted to do in life. I wanted to pursue in law. I wanted to go as high as I could. But this is me before life started, because it was only about me. I did not put into consideration, oh, I'm going to get married, I'm going to have children, oh, maybe the location, or maybe family support and all those things. Those things are important. So by the time I stepped in on the podium, the load was too heavy and my goal was slipping. In fact, I actually dropped out of law school, not because I wanted to, but because of life issues and life pressures that were there. And then my reason for wanting to go there, I realized I was not doing it for me. I was doing it because I was a people pleaser. And I'll say my grandfather was the main fun that I had. So it was fun to talk about what I did at uni, but as long as he was gone, and it was starting to get dreary and boring because there was no motivation and driving force for me to do it. So I would say maybe you're a nurse, you're a social worker, you are whatever it is. There is that thing again that comes back to us, like being a woman. How do you balance these things? Because some of these careers require a lot of us. I think 3/4 of us is all poured out into giving out so we can just get that salary. But is that how you brand yourself? Is that just all that's there? And sometimes it's hard to divide yourself into doing all these things. But remember, the more stress that a woman's body is taking, the shorter your life as well. And if you're not in a healthy space as a mother, it becomes rocky in the home, because most of us mothers are the driving force, the backbone of the family. The children rely on us, dad relies on us, community and whatever else. So we need to also ensure, especially if you're raising the little girls out, to also empower them and make sure we put them in a position, in an advantage, so we prepare them appropriately for the future, because they're going to be mothers tomorrow, but we need them to have the right tools to navigate and be there. I know I went on to uni and I did something else. I tried the 9 to 5. It didn't work for me. It didn't work. And as much as I tried to get more money out of me, I had to put in more hours in. But the more I put the hours in, my child was losing out. I remember going to school, pick up my child and being told, he's been daydreaming in class. He's been doing this in class. And that tore my heart. That tore my heart. The times that we had to work up very early to set him up and go to school, and all these shifts, patterns, him not getting enough from both of us as parents, it was draining him. And I needed a plan out of it. So this is where all this came from. I started daydreaming, like, I wonder, is there something I could do that I could have a piece of everything? Is there something I can do? So I call it like you're branding yourself for the money instead of working for the minutes, because most of the jobs we have out there are paying for your minute, for your time. But some of those people and the things that so close and so dear to you are losing out on the time that you need to be there. So what do we do about this? What do we do about this? So going back to the life purpose thing that I was saying, most people will ask at some point, and especially if you're finding the balance, or you're not finding the balance. I'm sure I've heard this from other women. I don't know about the women here. Have you ever asked yourself this question, why am I here? Have you ever questioned yourself, like, really, what am I accomplishing in my life? You might be getting the pounds in the bank, but even that is not even enough. Not enough. Well, it might be not enough for you to pay the bills because you're putting in the hours, but sometimes you can't even enjoy your hard-earned cash. Have you ever been there? I think a lot of us have been, or some of us are heading there, but we're starting to ask those questions, right? And you ask yourself, how did I get here, where I am? And we ask all them other questions that come in life with this. And I know it can be scary. It can be scary. But if we are going in life, we need to be able to measure our success and the things that we're doing. But do we measure our success on the accolades that we have, or the amount of money that's in the bank? How do you measure success? How do you know you're being successful? How do you know? Can somebody answer me? How do you know you're being successful? Or how do you know you've chosen the right career for you? How do you know things are working out for you? How do you measure it?
I think it goes back to what you asked first. What's your purpose? Before some of us knew what we were doing when we got married. You just said a baby, you just found yourself, the baby's there. You didn't even think, what are you going to do with it? You're just going to have babies and that's it.
And
But not
that's it.
knowing it's a ministry on its own. You need to work on raising those children. They need you all the time.
Right?
It's not
So
a side hustle. It's a full hustle.
it's a full hustle. You see, even
So
before you
anything else should
have
revolve
to
around that. So I
go in.
guess
Yeah.
once a person knows their purpose, if they're probably fulfilling their role, make sure the children are catered for first and the family is catered for first, and any other thing revolves around that. At that point, I would class it as success. I guess looking back, they've been missed opportunities. So success sometimes has not really been successful.
Like, you see. So we want to get to a point whereby you can sit and look back and say, wow, I did well. But the only thing for me, how I measure my success, it's the peace that I have. If I have no peace, I failed. That's how I measure my success. So whatever it is that I need to do, I need to feel chilled and relaxed and think, wow, I did great because I'm peaceful. If that is not there, whether it's mothering or career or whatever else, it needs to be there. So however you do it, you know. So yeah, to find your side hustle, maybe your actual hustle in this case, you need to have been in a position first to understand your life purpose. If not, then you're in here to find your side hustle, your hustle, or well, maybe somewhere to start, I'd say. So your purpose in life is as unique as your fingerprints. They say our fingerprints are not the same. Even if you have a twin, if you look at them, they're quite different. But we all have particular set of skills, of talents, of expertise, interests that lights us up. God endowed us with so many gifts. But do you know what your gifts are? It is the thing that gets you out of bed. That is your life purpose, and you know the purpose that we have in there. It's not just the thing that gets you out of bed to get something done, and then like, okay, feeling forced to do something is not really how I would say I have the perfect hustle. I need to think, yes, tomorrow I'm starting again, and rush to do it, because if it's something that you feel dreary and, achy about it, every time you think, oh, that job again, I need to do it. I'll be honest with you. We are counting down the hours. We are counting down our years in there. It's cut in our life. So anyway, I'm just going to rush forward. And then if this is important, I'll come back to it because I just need to get to the right things that I just want us to have takeaways from, right? So our side hustles need to blend with our interests. right? Things that bring us peace, things that bring us fulfillment, things that bring us joy, amongst other things. And the concept is finding the overlap between what you love and what the world needs. Remember the gifts that we have. We are endowed with those gifts. They are not there to lie dormant. They need to be used. So what are you good at? What will people pay you for? Because it's important to craft your sense of purpose from your passion, as well as practical considerations of what people need out there. If you're going to say, like, I'm going to make bold sweets and I'm going to sell them, and people don't want them, you make nothing out of it. So we need to look and think, what is it that people need out there? And what do I have? What's in my hand? And then we start from there. So for me, I wrote number 1, develop a growth mindset. So have a teachable spirit and be open to learning new things. Embrace new challenges and opportunities. Sometimes this is where we get all those gifts that are endowed to us that are already there, get sharpened. Or you get to know, like, oh, I know how to paint. So if you're there and you're willing to be taught new things, you get to know what to do with that painting that's been sitting in your wardrobe or wherever you kept it. Number 2, I'll say set goals and standards for yourselves, and use these as your roadmaps that will guide you towards identifying your core values and establishing what's important to you. So I'll say you need clarity. Clarity is clear vision of what you want to achieve. You know, a lot of us here, I've seen who's on there. I think we're all Christians. We struggle with overwhelm. Why I had to emphasize being Christian is because we're all trying to be good, 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 and nice all the time. But sometimes we carry too much in our plate to the point that it drowns us. And then we lose ourselves out of it. So we need to have clear goals of what is it that I'm trying to achieve. Okay, you are a nurse, but you need to have another side hustle for whatever reason. Could it be extra income stream or whatever else that you want to add on there? But it should not collide with what you're already doing. So we need to find the skill sets that you have within you that will, I'll say, marry with what you're already doing, or that will complement or enhance what you're doing. It's easier that way, so you don't divert and go out, because a lot of us already have too much in the plate. So if you get something else that totally is different, it won't go long. You end up dumping it and leaving it undone, even if it's a viable business option or something that is going to work. You won't finish it or see it to completion. So I'll say there as well, it is the clarity that keeps you motivated. Orient your short goals to long-term goals. So for instance, like I say, don't pick something just because, or just because everybody's doing this, so it will work for me. I see a lot of us do that sometimes. Oh, I'm plaiting hair because everybody's plaiting hair. But there's a reason why somebody's plaiting hair that you might not even understand. So it needs to have meaning and value to you. For instance, put up an allotment because you're health conscious. In your allotment, maybe plant a herb garden or crops that will fund that you need yourself for your health needs, for example. And then you can use those, the surplus from whatever crops that you have, to monetize and fund your passion ministry, for instance. If that is not going to work, you can still find value in them. So it's just an example that I just wanted to put out so we can better understand what exactly I mean by that. So 3, give back to the community, join a cause, connect with people that inspire you, look for ways to be of service. Don't leave those skills lying dormant. Sometimes when you go out there, you end up networking with other people. I, for one, I would say, when I started doing this, I've actually, some of the skill set that I've had, trainings and certification I haven't paid for. What I've done is I've just offered myself, like, oh, can I speak on your platform? And only somebody who comes in as a guest sees me, and then they invite me, only to find maybe they are doing that course or whatever else, and then they train me for it. So I know 2 courses that I've done with some people that are really out there and doing things that are in line with what I want. So it actually enhances what I already do. So it added for me a side hustle as well. So it's not going to be for everybody, but networking is important. It is there. Maybe you find somebody who has the same skill sets as you, and then you get to know and understand how to move forward with your own, for instance. So side hustle should not only bring you money, but skills, expertise, growth, personal development, as long as these are in alignment with your goals and where you're going, and so on. Number 4, what's in your hands? Like I said, what do you have going on? Explore your passions. Your passions and interests are a good indicator of the area in which your life hustle might lie, but they can be hard to identify. But they are so ingrained in our ways of thinking that we can become blind to them. Sometimes we're already doing it, but you don't realize. Oh, so a great way is to listen to what people are saying about you. Listen to feedback. Sometimes you can just go and ask people that are close to you, that know you, and ask them, what do you think about me? What do you think I'm good at? Have a pen and a notebook and write these things down. Find the keywords or the words that keep, coming up for you, and then explore on them and find like skills and whatever else that's out there that actually are in tune with those keywords that you found about yourself, and explore. So we talk about self-discovery there as well. Don't be shy to go out and discover yourself. You'll be surprised. Myself, for instance, the certain things that I've discovered, like, oh, I'm good at this. I never used to like to be on camera, for instance. But because I like certain subjects, to the point when I thought, if this is what I have to do to spread awareness and help at least 2 people, I'll do it. So as you go on there and you talk, my mind is not thinking about how good do I look on camera, but my word needs to get there. So with time, you get used to this. So that's another way as well. So listen to what people say. What solutions do you have? So these are clues as well. What solutions do you have when you look around? Some people are very analytical like that. You see people rushing to do the same things. Look for the gap and thinking, everybody's doing nursing. Maybe I don't have the skills to do nursing. What is it that everybody who's doing nursing needs that I can do for them? Maybe make lunches for them. Oh, okay. Oh, maybe look after their children for them. Oh, maybe, they don't have time to refuel their cars because they're so tired. So every so often I'll go and do rounds and, fueling. I'm just giving examples. Some of these things I know they might not be that practical, but this is a way to look at it. For instance, like I'm saying. So sometimes you need to create the market yourself for people to need you. Don't wait to say, okay, create the market, make people need you. Okay, what can I do for you? Oh, I see, your child was crying yesterday. You understand? Are you tired at all? Oh, I saw your dog, running about there, every time you come in, can I go dog walking for you? So create the need for other people. There's going to be somebody who is going to need it. So yeah, make the product or service personalized to people's needs. Don't make products and go out to sell them thinking, I think people are going to need it, like the bold sweets that I said. Look for what people need and give them that. If you're able to bake, what is it that people like? Just because you know how to bake does not mean everybody likes cakes. Some people like something else that's different, maybe samosas or whatever else, if they can be baked, whatever. So this is how you go about with it. So yes, you can be a jack of all trades. You can do a couple of things at a time, as long as you're a master at all of it. There's no point in going through and doing all these things when you don't finish the stuff. What I say is, like, when you're multi-talented, I see I've been through this. I'm always daydreaming about things, and I've got like multi-talents skills and whatever that I have. But until I found this secret, like, don't try to do everything in one go. It will pull you back. Try to launch it one by one and leave it on autopilot. Go to the next, leave it on autopilot. Find a way to schedule your time so you don't have to feel drained by it. But yes, it's important that we have multi income streams. If you are able to do that, by all means, but don't try to launch everything at one go, especially if it's going to need money to do it. You won't be able to do it. So one by one, starting with the easiest thing that you have, and then go to the most difficult thing. So yeah, make sure you're a master at all of the things that you do. If you're not sure, go out and perfect the skill or the talent. Make sure it's doing something for you and giving back to you before you move on to something else. Don't dip your hands in too many things at once. If you know you don't have the time, you don't have the space, or even things in or interest in certain things, you won't be able to see it into completion. And also get onto things that you know are of use to you, of interest to you, and you're passionate about. There's no point in saying, okay, I'm going to dog walk when you know, like, you're not good in picking up after the dog's waste. It's not going to work for you. It's not going to be long until you dump it anyway. So yeah, remember to keep it simple. As you gain momentum and clarity, you know how to expand if needed, or else to add, or what else you need to add in there. But personalize your products or services. Don't give people, like I said, I'll emphasize on this, what you think they need, especially if you're dealing with tangible products or you end up with stock that is not moving. That's if you're going to sell or whatever else. My favorite, number 5, turn your pain to purpose. I left it last for a reason. I love to talk about this one. Everyone has a story to tell. We are not all the same. We might have grown together. You might be twins. You might be from the same family. Everyone's life story is unique. When I say pain, I'm not meaning about trauma issues only. Pain could be something like, oh, my hair is so dry. I've got dandruff issues. That is your pain. So find something that works for you. If it works, why not monetize that for other people? Because you know it works. Give it to other people that need it. And then from there, try to explore and perfect it. So turn your pain into purpose. Everybody has a story. And like I always say as well, there's nobody else that is better in speaking about the thing better than you do, because you've been there. If it's some other pain, because you've had the lived experience. So it's something that you can vouch for, that you know when you speak about it, you're going to speak with passion because you know. If people ask you questions, you can answer back because you know. So these are the easiest things that I would say are easy to pick on there. The most important topics that I see as well that can be of use to people is looking into health issues, relationships, parenting, because a lot of people think side hustles are all about buying and selling, but sometimes it's about selling your story. And out of your story, you create products and services. So we're talking about things like coaching. Everybody has got a story to tell. And especially if you're a parent, you've got extra skills that you can use. If you've gone through parenting boys, for instance, there are people out there that need to know your experience. If you've gone through parenting girls, there's some things, unfortunately, when it comes to parenting, by the time you master it, that phase is past. I don't know everybody, if anyone has had that experience as well. I see it. And also because I've got 2 boys myself, I thought, right, this is going to be easy one for me for the second one. But hang on a minute, when he came and is growing, I'm thinking he's got his own personality and things that I haven't even been ready for. So Go to people, you need to glean from people that have gone through all that and give you the expertise. So like I say, we need to think about what we are giving and not just giving it for free. I know it sounds a little bit, but this is what it is like, especially if you're a diasporan, you'd understand time is money. Time is expensive, especially when you have a family. Time is expensive. I used to do that. Like, okay, everybody comes in, come in, come in, come in. But before long, 4 or 5 hours I've been on the phone and my children are there. That is not fair, is it? So what I do now is like, no, set an appointment where okay, when people are coming, even a donation, but at least my time was not for free. And especially when you see people keep coming for the same thing, that means you were skilled in that. There is something that you have going on. So dig into that and find out, what is it that I possess? What is it? Get feedback all the time when people come to you. Oh, okay, sister so and so, or whatever it is. Why is it that you came to me when there are other people there? You'll be surprised by what people say back to you. For instance, I've had two of my main managers say the same things. These are two different jobs. And it took me years up until recently when somebody said it that wasn't that. I think I actually have that. Why do people keep using that phrase? Joy, you are the calm in the storm. What? I'm the calm in the storm. I feel like I'm chaotic by myself. But I realize every time I step in a place where it's chaotic, it goes peaceful. I used to think like, but now I see it is happening over and over. And I'm thinking, there must be something that I possess. So I went in to ask people, what is it that it is that you see in me? Oh, you are strict. You are a no nonsense. Whatever it is, you're consistent. Okay, you are this. Write it down. All those things, go and research and deep into it. So that's where you can find out like, oh, okay, so I can actually do coaching, can't I? So that's an extra thing that is on there. All right. So when you're turning your pain into purpose, like I said, there's someone out there wanting the tools you earned and learned from your life story. Someone waiting to pay even to a pound for your life prescription. That's what I call it. Why? Because you know what worked and what didn't in your pain. But most importantly, how you triumphed over it. You have the key that somebody else is looking for. And in the circle of influence that we're in, there's somebody that wants what you have. I believe, and this is why I always speak about safe spaces and good relationships around people, because sometimes it will help you to find the key to your next step in life. I call people around destiny helpers. So you might be somebody's destiny helper that's stagnant in a situation they're waiting for you to unlock, whilst we're busy sitting on our skills. So most of our life stories are training to our life purpose and calling. So there's nothing that we go through that hasn't got, what can I say, a learning point to it. I'm a Christian, so I always say, like, God does not waste pain. It was there for a reason. What is it, God? What was this for? And you find it always comes in, and everything, if you look at it, this is why I go back and I say, what is your life purpose? You see these things come and then they join together. And then it is from there that you actually have a map of exactly what your life calling is. But very much for qualities for hustles out there. Life stories, some people have written books. That's a side hustle. Spoke on stages. That's another stream of income. Merchandise, coaching others, short documentaries. Think of people like Dr. Ben Carson, for instance. Steve Jobs as well, founder of Apple, all turn their pain into purpose. So what stops you? How you transform your pain into purpose is up to you, but the list is endless. So in closing, I'll say, you are unique, but don't follow the crowd. Do you? because you know your script better. Don't try to play somebody else's role or movie because you don't know their script. If you try to step in there, you don't know what the next part is that you need to act out. So be you and act yourself. God has endowed all of us with unique sets of gifts and talents. Even when they seem alike, trust me, the audience out there is different. People see in us different things. You, my sister Rudo, and me might have the same things. But when people look at us, they see different things that they might need. Even right now, if you go out and say, we were selling oranges and we're both selling oranges, it won't be surprising that maybe yours go first before mine. Why? Because you might have the skill to talk to people better than I do, even though we're doing the same thing. So what it is that we need to do is explore, go and self-discover yourself. For women, don't be don't feel satisfied on just one income stream. And especially, I always say, try to think outside the box. We are conditioned to only think things happen in a certain way, but is it? No, it's not. I am proof. And I would say I am proof. I always say this, and people say, Joy, do you actually go to work? What do you do? I have this question. You're always out and about with your children and whatever else, because I work around my children, but there's no need for me to be on the door, for instance. I don't need that. Why? Because I've learned to put to use what God has given me. So however small it is, it will pay something. Even if it means like have 2p there or whatever, that's pocket money for the children. So what I try to do is like, this is me. Whatever side hustle I try to come up with has to cover a certain bill. I'm a homeschool mom, so I don't need to be dipping my children's education in my food bill, for instance. It has to have its own. So what is it? So this is what I try to do. I'm not saying I'm perfect in that, but with that mindset, I've seen how it is actually taking me far. I'm not trying to be a millionaire overnight, but where I am right now, I've seen how God has put certain people in my life to open and, give me more gifts and sharpen my gifts so I can go further. So I hope with this presentation, we'll go out and find our calling. What is my life purpose? And from there, only then you find what's my life hustle. Because your hustle is going to come out from your life purpose, unfortunately. If you don't know what your purpose is, you're not going to go anywhere. So yes,
Wow, wow, wow.
thank you for the time. So I'll
Thank you
pass it back.
so much, so much. Thank you. I'll stop recording so that we can be comfortable to